Another day, another track. I don't really have a plan for today other than I'm going to head out the moor to Trout and see where I end up. And I'll shoot some video as I go along so you can see what I get up to. I'm going to pass a few fishy looking lochs on the way out, but I want a wee wander further out the moor, so I'm going to leave these ones alone. And this is one of the problems when you're spoilt for choice. You could probably spend a whole day just fishing this loch and consider yourself to have had good sport. And it is possible that some of the lochs I'm walking to literally hold nothing. But we'll go out and have a wee look. This ground's a bit more rocky and hilly than what maybe we see in a lot of the Lewis moorland, and it certainly makes for quite hard walking. So there we go, our first look at the first loch of the day. Probably this loch doesn't hold any fish because there's certainly no spawning potential in it because the burns are all blocked. Plus it's just a muddy peaty hole. But we're going to take a wee rattle along the side of it and see if there's anything here just in case, because sometimes you can get a surprise. So, as ever on arrival at any loch, the standard operating procedure is get the tee on. We'll work out the fishing later. I still have to sort out the rod as well because it was out for a wee grills yesterday, so it needs the line changed, or at least the leader changed. Well, the MSR wind burner is a fabulous stove. If all you just need to do is boil water, as I do mostly for tea, it does it in no time. And while it doesn't cope with real wind, if you get a wee sheltered spot, you can get it lit, and it does a good job. So, before the rod goes together and I get ready to fish, the number one priority, of course, is getting the tee on the go. Once more, I have found located about my person a banana, so I'm going to consume that while I look, there's twigs in my tea, while I drink my tea, I think. The eagle's just gone past up the far end of the loch. Don't know where he's going, but he's obviously got some urgent business. Good I don't, because I don't think I'm good with urgent business. So after making tea and eating bananas and watching eagles and all that sort of stuff, seemed like it was maybe a good point in the day to cast a line. And I thought originally I had the rod I had out yesterday with me, but actually I don't. I have a completely different rod, made by a great American rod builder who's now dead called Dave Lewis. And Dave built me this rod on an 11-foot 6-weight sage blank. And I've got to say, it is a good rod. But of course, having fished with the other rod for a week, it feels a bit odd in the hand just to lift it and go, oh, hey, this isn't the same as yesterday. So because I know nothing about this loch and don't even know if there's fish in it, I put a nice bright fly on the top, a soldier palmer, and a darker one, a black pennel on the point, in the hope of sort of covering all eventualities. However, I'm not particularly hopeful that there's any fish in here, because it just, for a start, it has no spawning burns. It's also weedy, which is why I'm sort of casting here, because nearly anywhere else is covered in weed, and just doesn't look very hopeful. Well, that just about wraps it up for the wee loch that probably holds no fish. I certainly didn't see any, but time to walk over to the next one now. So over to the next loch. This one's a very convoluted shape and contains lots of these wee bays joined by channels. So we'll see how we go. It might take us the rest of the day to fish this one, or we might go on to somewhere else. And that's one of the joys of coming out here. You don't really set a target, you just go where the wind takes you. But let's see if we can get set up and maybe get ourselves a fish. Now I'm on top of the point at the first sort of narrows in this loch. You can see just how convoluted the loch actually is. The loch's full of the shallows and boulders and drop-offs that trout just love. So I've come onto the wee peninsula and I've changed the flies for a teal and black and a black Zulu, just to see if I can do any business with them. because I kind of felt that the others were lacking in presence a wee bit, so I've gone up a wee bit in size as well. But I'm not moving much here so far. Oh well, saying that, I moved that one but I didn't touch him. Despite the earlier discovery of a rather tasty banana, it's time for some pulled pork. That's not as painful as it sounds. Then I'll move on to another loch, as I've had a goodly number of wee fish off this one. Well, hopefully the loch's just over this ridge, but I've been saying that for about half an hour now. Oh well, I got lucky. But it doesn't look like much, and I think it's going to be weedy. I can see that there seems to be stones in this down there, so maybe there are fish in it, you know. Maybe it's not just a peaty hole. Impossible to tell until we actually move one. Oh well. So there's fish of some description in it, because we obviously did just move one. The residence proved to be small and entertaining, but the scope of my fishing was somewhat limited by extensive weed beds. Well, I think that'll do us here. What we'll do is we'll maybe go back down to the big loch and have a few casts down there, and then fish the two that we bypassed in the walk out on the way back to the car. Oh well, Mr. Grouse isn't so happy with me, but I'm going to make my way down here to the bigger loch, and we'll have a few casts down there and then work our way back to the car, I think. But what a nice wee glen here. Just a couple of casts here and then on to the next loch. This is just another wee tiny hole in the peat that I don't really think counts as a loch, but as I was walking past I thought, I'll have a cast as I go by. I think it unlikely it holds fish, but you just never know. It also breaks up the walk, because I was getting a bit out of breath climbing all these wee hills. So this is one of the lochs we bypassed on our way in this morning, and I thought, well, we'll not go past it on the way out without having a quick throw. I've never known it to hold anything decent, but occasionally I've had a few wee fish off it. Oh, there's a wee doubler now. So that's me nearly back to the car. And I'm going to have a cast on this loch to see how it goes as well, because I've fished 5 so far today, so I might as well have a quick cast on another one. So I'm going to have a quick throw on here. Now, okay. Don't know if with the wind you can hear him, but there's a cuckoo going away in the trees behind me, or beside me here, and so back out the track after another great day of loose trout fishing. I managed to fish 6 lochs, I think, and I walked a brave few miles as well, and even caught some fish. So a great day out.